Hi, this is Tutor P, and this is quotes 161. Quote today is by Alan Greenspan. I'm sure many of you might remember him, but it is starting to be a while ago now that he used to be the head of the Fed. So he is the former head of the Fed from 1986 to 2006. So he did it for 20 years. That is a really long time. That's longer than both than the two most recent former feds and combined if you added up their years. So anyway, let's take a look at his quote. Gold is a currency and is by all evidence, by all proof, the premier currency, meaning premier means number one currency, with no fiat currency, including the dollar, and match it. Yeah. Remember, when we say fiat money, that means money that a government declares to be legal tender. So whatever the government says, whether it's paper money or whatever, it's basically the currency of the country. That is fiat. It's just basically paper money or digits that's not necessarily backed by anything. Okay. So let's continue. In the same interview, this quote is similar to the first one, but slightly different. View means his opinion, I view gold as the primary again meaning number one, global currency. It is the only currency, along with silver, that does not require a counterparty signature or a liability for someone else. So what does that mean when they say counterparty? Well, most people think, you got money in the bank, right? But if one day the bank were to collapse or go bankrupt, that money's gone. That is counterparty risk. You have to depend on somebody else to get that money. Or if you had money in some, insurance company that they're supposed to pay you back. Same thing, counterparty risk. Even money that the government has promised you, like pensions or Social Security. If they were to collapse one day, they could. You still have to depend upon them. If they ever ran out of money, or if they didn't have enough money to pay it back, then that's counterparty risk. Countries have collapsed. They have gone bankrupt before. So you're depending upon somebody else. That's what he's saying, that you have counterparty risk. All right, let's continue. These quotes were said by Alan Greenspan in a January 2015 interview. Now, this was 3 years ago. They were discussing how many people were eventually going to lose faith in fiat currencies due to the world's debt problems that cannot ever be completely solved. I think I remember seeing a statistic somewhere that the amount of debt is greater than all the currency that exists out there, and maybe even all the wealth that's out there. Most of the time, the debt really is just the interest is what is being paid on it. But one day, maybe you won't even be able to pay the interest too. So that's what he's referring to. Okay, let's continue. He went on to say, I cannot tell you the day, so it means I cannot tell you when, but gold will be immeasurably higher in the future. What does he mean by immeasurable? In an extreme way, or without bounds, without limits. Now remember he said this 3 years ago. This clearly has not happened in 3 years. But that's what he was saying. I cannot tell you the day, but there's got to be some point where it all blows, or where it all collapses, where it all falls apart. And basically that's kind of the day where it all starts. But that's from him. When he was the head of the Fed, he never talked about this. He never talked about precious metals at that time. He did talk about it before he was the head of the Fed. And then after he retired, he did mention it some too. But while he was at it, in that position, a lot of times who's ever in that position is never supposed to talk about precious metals because they consider that competition with the government's currency. Okay, anyway, I hope you got it. I hope it's clear. I hope it was informative. Thank you for your time.